We are not makers of history. We are made by history. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. There is nothing more tragic than to find an individual bogged down in the length of life, devoid of breadth. We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. The past is prophetic in that it asserts loudly that wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. A man who won't die for something is not fit to live. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Never succumb to the temptation of bitterness. Everything that we see is a shadow cast by that which we do not see. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but the positive. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude. When you are right, you cannot be too radical. When you are wrong, you cannot be too conservative. That old law about an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. The time is always right to do the right thing. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Almost always, the created, dedicated minority has made the world better. We will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. We must come to see that the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience. I have a dream that one day little black boys and girls will be holding hands with little white boys and girls. What is wrong in the world today is that the nations of the world are engaged in a bitter, colossal contest for supremacy. The moral arc of the universe bends at the elbow of justice. Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in healthcare is the most shocking and inhumane.